Hey, this is Wolf from Armoury-Terrain, and anyone that knows me knows I have a little bit of a pumpkin problem. And since it's only 3 weeks to Halloween, my pumpkin problem is growing. Now, I have another video on how to make pumpkins using the EVA floor mats, and there'll be a link to that up here somewhere, as well as a title card at the end of the video. So once you watch this video, go and check that one out. And while you can make jack-o'-lanterns that way, it's a bit of a pain to have to cut through the foam ribs. So this pumpkin tutorial will show you how to make jack-o'-lanterns much easier than this. Now all you're going to need for this project is one disposable single-use plastic bag, a newspaper, box of tissues, some electrical tape, and tool wise you'll need a knife and a paintbrush, and that's about it. So when you take your bag, grab your newspaper, scrunch it up, not too tight, medium scrunch ball, and fill your bag with it. Now this bag needs to be relatively full, so let me fill this up. Now that the bag is relatively full, tie the handles at the top together. So you have a bag like this that'll compress a little bit. Now, grab your electrical tape. And using the electrical tape, we're going to shape this bag to look like a pumpkin. So our first step is with the ties on the top, wrap around them once or twice to anchor your tape, and that's going to be the stem, and then it's just pulling the tape all the way around. Now the bag handles are a bit long for a stem for my taste, so I'm just going to fold them in half and wrap the electrical tape around them. Okay, so at this stage you should have a bag that looks a bit like this. I've divided mine into 8. 8 seems to be a fairly good number for a pumpkin. And we're a third of the way there. Now, grab some PVA glue. Don't use corn flour and water. The mice and the rats and everything else will eat it. So grab some PVA glue, water it down, grab some tissues and your paintbrush. Paint the plastic bag with PVA glue, put the tissue on it, paint the tissue in PVA glue, repeat 6-8 times. Once you've done that, you'll have a nice hard pumpkin that looks like this. Now to draw the face on it. But before that, I'm going to work out where I'm going to cut the top of it out. Because I am going to put a flame in this. So the top needs to be big enough that I can reach into it. So I figure about that will do me. Now for the face. I'm going to pick the flattest side just because it's easier to cut. And then I'm going to design a face, and then you can watch me cut it out without having to play with all the ribs. Now, of course, depending on how big your pumpkin is, depends on how big your face is. I'm going to break this video here and grab a box cutter or an X-Acto knife and cut this out, and then we'll come back to it. Now that you've cut your face out of the pumpkin, mine was a little bit soft in places, so I resorted to using scissors or shears to cut the mouth out. I'm sure a lot of the people watching this channel are very creative, and you guys will do something amazing with like a rotary tool and carve something really cool. But since this is quickly done for the video, this is what mine looks like. Cut the top off. Now remember, you've got electrical tape and stuff holding it on, so you go cut all of that. Then you have the fun part of emptying the pumpkin. So you've got to pull all this newspaper out. Now that you've emptied all the paper out of the pumpkin, the plastic bag should probably come out as well, because PVA glue does not stick to plastic very well at all. Yep, it came out. I now have a nice light hollow pumpkin with a lid, of course. Now, depending on how you cut the lid, you may need to glue some cardboard tabs inside of it just to sit on. I cut mine in on an angle so it sits in quite nicely. I'm now going to hit this with some spray paint, and I'll leave you with images of a candle an electric candle burning in here to finish the video. So here is the finished product. A glowing jack-o'-lantern. I've put an electric tea light candle in here that has a little bit of flickering. Now please don't put a real flame in here, it's paper, it will burn, and then everyone will be sad. You can buy the battery powered tea light candles easily enough. This one's actually a pillow light, but same sort of deal. And the whole pumpkin glows. Now it's a little bit light still to show it all glowing, but if it gets any darker you won't be able to see the outside of the pumpkin. All you'll see is a glowing face. So this is Wolf from Armoury-Terrain saying 3 weeks to Halloween. Everybody, you'd better get out there and build something.